Before, after. It's another day working in the garage here at Freeman's Garage. We're on the barn find 67 Chevy C10, and this door is ridiculous. It's time we do something about it for good. If you got headphones plugged into your TV VHS combo set right now, turn it down a little bit, because this is a squeaker. Now, more of a catcher smasher into the fender than a squeaker. It's less painful if you go. I know you might be screaming, stop, stop, you're ruining things. It's been like this for years. In a previous Freeman's Garage video, we used a hammer and a block of wood to try to put an end to the door fender carnage. And it did work, but it was only temporary. It all came back. The challenge is that metal has a memory, so we may have hammered this back, but slowly over time, it went back to where it was. Hopefully we can do a more permanent job at fixing this here today, and hopefully it goes swimmingly, because there's a couple other things that we got to knock out on the C10. We got to plug a tire. That's going to be cool. Sometimes that doesn't work out the way you hope it does. There's no contact up here. The door's contacting the fender down here. Typically, when a door and fender are making contact like this, it's caused by a fender getting pushed in or a door getting pushed in. That seems to be the most common reason for this scenario, but this one's a little bit different. I don't know exactly what happened here. It's a mystery, but I've got a pretty good guess. This truck spent its life on a cattle ranch before being tucked into a barn for 20 years, and then I came along and took possession of it. So this was not me. And this dent here, I don't think something pushed this in. It's too deep to be a cow rub. And watch how far this door opens. It's not supposed to open this far. You know, these cowboys are rough on stuff, man. Somebody really jacked this door up. It's 90 degrees to the fender. Not supposed to be like that. And there's a door catch here. But I think what happened, judging by this big smackaroo down here on the bottom of the door, I bet somebody forgot that this door was open and they backed up into a barn or something and hit something with the bottom of the door and it bent it forward too far. Here's the difference on the passenger side door. Note the smooth operating action, by the way. Factory hinges, that's General Motors quality. See, we're more at a 45-ish, not a 90-ish. That's as far as it goes. About a 45-degree angle. The burning question is, when did that happen in this truck's life? Was it a week old and somebody did that and had to live with it? Or was the thing already beat down and broken? This door came forward more than 90 degrees. Because look at where it's creased. That creased on the fender. Yeah, it bent way past that. And I bet the door didn't close very easily after that happened. They probably had to push real hard. Let's hit with a hammer and block of wood right here. Memory refresher before. The door closes really nicely. Normally, I don't recommend hitting your truck with a hammer. Something nobody likes to do. Okay, well, that's better. There's almost no contact down here. But there's contact up here that I didn't notice when we first started here. Even though this door is very messed up, I still don't like doing this. Just doesn't feel right. Feels so wrong. I'm just trying not to damage the fender on accident. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Oh, we're breaking wood, man. Breaking wood is what we did in that previous video I mentioned. So we are just a little bit of contact there. And then we get a little bit of contact right there. Now, you might be asking or wondering, why doesn't he loosen the door hinges? Why doesn't he get those bolts loosened? Oh, I just backed into an engine stand. Why doesn't he loosen up these hinges and adjust this door? Well, I don't want to do that because I don't think that that's going to help anything, because if we loosen any of that stuff up, we change all of this. I mean, this is pretty good. It's a little, we're kind of sticking too far out down here. That could be because there's newish weather stripping, newish door seals, but that's probably just, you know, an effect from all that. But if we loosen that stuff up, those hinges, we will mess this all up. And if we were putting all this stuff on from scratch, we would start with our body lines on the back and we would move forward. So we don't want to loosen the hinges up and move the door around to get this stuff set up how we want it, because I'm telling you, all this will be gone. That would be working backwards. But if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm not a body man or woman. I do not possess proper body working tools, the kind that a professional would use. And I have no experience doing body work for customers. I think we about got it. It's not a very tidy world, and just like everyone else, I'm trying to get by, man. But yeah, with this door in this condition, this is, what are you gonna do, spend $1,000 on this door? But yeah, any scoozers never claimed to be a body man. I wonder if this big gap wasn't here, if our fuel mileage would increase. Isn't this how the orcas communicate? Or am I thinking of a different fish? I don't know if it's gonna get any better. Unless we start using a piece of metal. It's okay. It's okay. This is hurting me as much as it's hurting you. I'm the guy that doesn't like throwing away an original bolt, even if it's stripped out. So you know this is painful. Boy, it's contacting just the teeniest, tiniest amount. Sorry, I don't like this. I don't like this. We are just about done with this door. The question is, how quiet, how good do you think we can get it, and what's good enough? That first sound there, that's the bottom. And then the top. Well, we can't have that. We gotta get rid of that noise. But the second noise, yeah, that might be acceptable. Although I don't like how it's kind of wearing on the fender. There's some grindage here from years of contact with the fender. Now we could probably get a porta power inside this door and pop this out. But we're probably not gonna ever be able to get rid of these creases. Yeah, maybe, who knows. But this fender, well, we got some damage up here, but that's a lot more fixable. Jeez, that looks bad in that light. That looks worse than it really is. But this fender's all a good, really nice fender, so I kind of don't want the door rubbing on it anymore. You can see it's kind of worn in like that a little bit. If we ever do a full restoration on this, that were to ever happen on this truck in its life, we would want to reuse this if we can, so we don't want to ruin it. But if the wood's splitting before it can move this anymore, we might have to go metal on metal. No, I don't want to, but let's test it out a little bit. I kind of got that feeling, you know, when you just feel like the roof is about to cave in. Kind of got that feeling right now. This is just a piece of 1/4-inch flat stock that's laying around. I'm trying not to hit the fender with the hammer. Ow, my finger. We could get a bigger hammer, but the reason why we're using this, which is a good size hammer, is because I don't want to go overboard, you know? I don't want to move this metal to a point where we've really just jacked everything up, worse than it already is. Well, come on! We're kind of playing a game now where if we have this side, this side, the top of the door not making contact, the bottom is. Hear that? But if we hammer the bottom to where it's not making contact, then the top will be. So let's try the bottom one more time and see what happens to the top. Let's just try it once more. I think that might be as good as we're gonna get it. I mean, that's not bad. Right? That's not bad. I mean, it's a lot quieter, so it's a lot less embarrassing in the Dollar Tree parking lot. And we don't want to adjust the fender at all because that'll mess all this up in the front. Yeah, I don't know. I think we got to deal with it. Look at all that red East Texas sandy loam. Must be from the ranch. Let's hear the before one more time. And now the after one more time. Now we test it. We just got sent to the Dollar Tree at 10 o'clock at night for a 9-volt. Because you know they got the cheap batteries. We park in the parking lot. Where else would we park? And there's strangers all over the place that we care about what they think about us. We care, it matters, man. And we open the door. Silent as a careless whisper. We come out of Dollar Tree in our Jeff Foxworthy sleep pants because it's after 10. We got a snack. Oh, it was so quiet I forgot to even think about the door. We head home. We walk through the door. Where's the 9-volt? Subscribe and click the bell so the GoobTube knows to notify you when new Freeman's Garage videos come out, or at least just make sure you come back, either way, because I'm going to jot down what today's date is, and if this metal on this door goes back to where it was in a week, in a month from now, who knows, if it does it and the door is screeching and hollering again, we can see how many days it took to go back to how it was. If I can do basic math. These lights are awesome. Somebody sent them into the Freeman's Garage P.O. box. You know who you are. And they are friggin' sweet. We're gonna throw this finger guard on real quick, and then we'll pull the left front tire and see what's punctured the tire and see if we can't plug it. I wonder if it's a railroad spike. We'll evict the spider egg sac. I think I've been meaning to reinstall it ever since. Geez, when did we take it off? Was that when we did a budget at-home piston ring job on the original 250 straight 6 that was in this truck? that we still have. It's here at Freeman's garage. That engine came out. It runs. It still runs, but the block is cracked, which you might do a farmer weld repair on in the future. But I'm trying to remember, did we take the finger guard out when we swapped in the swap meet engine? That is the engine that's in here right now. Is that when we took this out and didn't reinstall it? Sometimes the projects all kind of start running together, and a guy kind of starts to forget some things. Or is that not normal? Oh, come on, you stubborn mule. Well, maybe if I keep lining it up and then I take it out to put the bolt in and it goes back to where it was. So what if we tighten this side? Now it might not move. There we go. Thank goodness that went in. I'm trying to get the work on this truck done before it gets too late. There's a Scrabble tournament at the senior center this afternoon. A washer sitting on top of the steering box. Yeah, I'm deleting that. Isn't that crazy how much of a difference hubcaps make? This looks like a completely different truck without them. I mean, it still looks amazing, but it is way better with the hubcaps. I'm so glad the family I got this truck from was able to find them in the barn, because okay, that's day and night. That's two-wheel drive versus four-wheel drive. Could you imagine this truck lifted? A four-wheel drive 67 to 72 Stepside, lifted with some big mudders on it. I haven't had a wheel and tire off of this truck for a long time. It's just been a real good truck, in service, and not needing any babysitting or hand holding. But it is about time to bring it into Freeman's garage and give it a good servicing. Well, I guess it's kind of funny I say that, because I guess it wasn't that long ago we put a different engine in the truck. And but I'm talking about, you know, the undercarriage and the underneath and all. Brakes, everything. I haven't touched everything for the longest time. It's just been great. What did we come in here for again? Oh yeah. I rolled the tire away as if we didn't need it for anything. You know, when I get to talking, the gift of gab. I have been driving the C10 here with the leaky tire, but I've stayed off the highways and byways. I've just kept it on essentially surface streets ever since something got in this tire. I've been putting some air in it every couple of days, and I just put air in it yesterday. Let's see if we can find if it's a nail or a screw. And I think the puncture has been on the bottom while the truck's been parked lately, because I've been putting air in the tire every couple days, and then recently now it hasn't needed any air, and I'm assuming because it's sitting on the puncture, or it was. Let's find the puncture together. Isn't that cute? I mean, what else? What else do best friends do? There it is. It's a screw. Dag nabbit. Spray some soapy water on this. Just for a pre-repair demonstration. Yep, it's leaking. Is this a full screw or just the end of a broken screw? There is a plug, tire plug versus tire patch debate. That's been going on for eons, as they say. Oh, it's a very short screw. Smells like the milk crate full of 8-track tapes I bought at a citywide rummage sale. We are not in a hurry here. There's no reason to rush or freak out. This is a brand new tire plug kit that will be linked, or that is linked in the video description along with those lights, because it's the best plug kit that I have found, the best for the money. Unfortunately, the kit is not made in these United States, but to get a plug kit that is, as far as I'm aware, costs you at least 40 bucks. And this is 10. It's sad but true. And this one that comes in the case, it's awesome so you don't lose all this stuff, and it's got tire gauge with it too. I kind of wish the hole in this tire was bigger. It's actually kind of too small for this. Now, it's not good to twist this plug, but we gotta get more of it in there. I should have reamed the hole out a little bit more, cleaned it up more with that file tool, but we're in about 2/3 of the way, so now we just yank skis. Oh, we didn't read the directions. Darn it. Oh, why did I bring this over here? I'll test out the one that's in here. Actually, we'll compare these two. This is actually the same brand as the one that came in the kit. Same brand as the kit. That's what I'm trying to say. We'll compare their readings. So we'll air up to 32 PSI. There's also something I want to say about tire plugs and tire patches. I have an announcement. Attention, all Kmart shoppers. I just put 30 pounds in just to make it easier to compare on the gauges. So that says 30, and now the one from our kit. The one from our kit says 31. That's as accurate as we need to be. How accurate do we need to be? We're not setting the tire pressure on a space shuttle's landing gear. Let's trim the plug first. I used to be against trimming plugs. I thought, no, it all needs to be there. And then I started thinking, but if you don't trim it, there's excess that's gonna somehow rip the plug out. I don't know if it matters. Soapy water test, here we go. Is our plug leaking or is it holding air? Why does it look like it's leaking? It might need 2 plugs. Yeah, I didn't do it right. Like I said, I should have reamed that hole out better. Because there's no way that this hole needs 2 plugs. We could barely get 1 in. And because it was so tough to get in, I just didn't get it in right. And I was twisting it, if you recall. Boy, you would never want to do this on the side of the road if you were driving some highfalutin, fancy vehicular. You'd be getting this stuff all over your hands. There we go. That's not gonna leak. This plug is in a little bit further. Looks a lot better. It's my party, I can cry if I want to, if this leaks. Which it won't. Pure confidence. Nice. Not a bubble. We're good to go. So something that I do when I plug or patch a tire, which I prefer plugs, is I put the plug tire on the back of the vehicle. And it's actually perfect timing because it is about time to rotate these tires. The next time I change the oil, they're getting rotated, so good timing. And the reason I put the plug tire on the back is because even though I trust plugs, I've had multiple plugs in tires and I've never had one come out, I've never had an issue with them, but you never know. So I put it on the back so that if the plug does come out and the tire goes flat, it's easier to steer the rig. Because if you have a tire go down on the front, it's a lot more difficult to keep it out of the rhubarb. Well, we're aired up and still no bubbles. Even if I put lug nuts on with an impact, I hit them up with the tire iron just to be safe. And plus the compressor didn't have diddly squat in it for air, so barely even tighten these. I love you. It's amazing how one pesky, mangy screw, just this one little itty bitty thing, can wipe out an expensive tire. I'm still happy with this fix. So we got a door that can't be heard for over a country mile. our fingers are guarded from the fan, and our right front tire won't go flat on the Jersey Turnpike. So I'm going to send you to the video where we fixed this door the first time. And thanks for subscribing, clicking the bell, liking, hitting the arrow button that lets you share the videos with family and friends. I appreciate it.